Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is I forgot what today was. Today is Thursday, September 28th, 2023. Another little trade recap. We took one small trade today, and then I like to do what's called um, like what kind of trades could I have taken, and then I like to do a lot of analysis behind it and understand why I would have taken that trade if I took that trade. I just want to pay attention to the weekly time frame first of all. Let's pay attention to this weekly fair value gap that we're currently in. The bottom of this fair value gap is the price of 4213.4, and the top is 4259.5. So that's our fair value gap on the weekly. We also have a monthly fair value gap, monthly low, right, as we're in, right, this huge fair value gap right here, which may be causing this reversal pattern that we're seeing on the weekly. Sorry if you can see all this, by the way, on the monthly. I'm sorry about that. Um, so to me, the weekly right now is going bearish, even though it has a bullish candle. It did get bought off, and if you do know price action, this is almost like a doji that wants to shoot straight up in the sky, right? It's almost like this. Like if you had this candle in between these two candles, right, you would know that price came down, would reach into the fair value gap or sell side liquidity or anything like that, and would get bought up. And that's the candle, because it would get bought up in the week, and then after the week it opens another week, and that's when we pump up to get more buys. Now, am I saying we're going to get a whole nother move up? No, but I'm saying that there is a pretty fucking big gap from here to here, right, where price is just hasn't filled anything. So I'm hoping to see at least price get in the middle of somewhere right here, like somewhere in this fair value gap. We'll see what ICT says later tonight in his video. But there's definitely something here, right? Again, this is the weekly, but we can hop down in the daily, and I currently see there's a fair value gap here, and that's the top of it. Maybe there's a fair value gap here. This is the most recent. There's another one here, and it can go and fill those fair value gaps, but it's got to come up here to grab that, right? Now, what I find really important, and this is why I still have this, is this small weekly fair value gap, right? Over here, we have here, and then this bottom, right? This is a fair value gap, that nice little gap right here. And I still keep this on because, as you see, price is now almost using this fair value gap as support to bounce off and to reach for higher highs and to reach for liquidity up here, right? It came down, it broke through this fair value gap, which is fine. We were expecting it. Maybe one day I believe it like stopped at the fair value gap and then broke down through it. But then we targeted this weekly fair value gap opening right here, boom. And we even came down to almost this monthly low fair value gap, almost. But if you really want to take a closer look, this is almost the weekly fair value gap, like consequent encroachment. Yeah, I mean, I got a few dollars away. Not too big of a move right there, but it got close, right? So there's a lot of liquidity. There could have been some order blocks. I don't know. I didn't really do my analysis there on the reversal, but there was an obvious reversal there. And that's what we noticed. Jumping down into the daily, you can see this reversal pattern, right? There's a lot going on. Like, I'm sorry about this. I don't want to delete all of it. Look how much stuff there is. Or just delete. There's a lot going on, so it might be hard to see, but in my eyes right here, we have a big ass candle on Tuesday where we dumped, and obviously right now on Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially Friday, probably Friday, we're going to try to buy up all the way to this next draw on liquidity, which is up here, right? This next draw on liquidity is right here. Where's DO, right? That's the draw on liquidity at the moment for Friday, because if price really wanted to push up, right? And this is why I kept the weekly fair value gap, because here, the weekly price, right, you see, oh, it's all the way up here, right? It's above, but on daily, you can see that this candle right here, this is where it ended the day. Aftermarket, it could probably come back down, use this as support, fill this wick, and come all the way down, grab this liquidity, come back down, come back up, all the way to draw this liquidity. And that could potentially happen, right? Because today, this is what happened. I mean, today we had a great day, right? We went down, reached some liquidity, grabbed all this, grabbed all the order blocks, shot straight up, right? We also had FOMC and unemployment claims. Unemployment claims happened at 8:30. I watched it live. Super bullish action, and I actually took a bearish trade. So I'll show you guys that next. 4 hours, still a lot of lines, lots of stuff, but I marked it out, right? Again, this weekly fair value gap in orange. Price came back down on the 4 hour, touched this smaller, 3-minute fair value gap that we had here. I'll talk about that magnet, and then pushed up as there was a market structure shift. You'll also use as a breaker. Pushed up, obviously, and this weekly was also used as support, confluence, PD array, all that stuff. I 100% push you, and I want you to believe that price is gonna not only take this liquidity out, which is the next closest draw on liquidity, but also take this draw on liquidity. If we can get to this, we can get higher. Will this happen tomorrow? No. Will it happen in the couple of days, right? Tomorrow is Friday, so tomorrow, obviously, Friday is very bullish. There's always some bullish news on Friday. If it's not bullish, it's bearish, and it's full bearish, especially after a bearish week, there's got to be something bullish. Just like happened last week, if you remember. Jumping down to the 1 hour, there's gonna be a lot of lines here, and I'm sorry if you guys don't understand all this. I'll try to explain it my best. This is all aftermarket analysis. We're gonna focus down here where we had our trade. So let's run it back. Thursday, where did we open on Thursday? Somewhere around here. 12 a.m. right here. Okay, yeah. So we open here. Opening price, we made a low, right? Low. And I want you guys to notice this low actually gets swept. So this low we make, we get back up, whatever, we come up here. Again, this fair value gap is acting as resistance at this point. We come back up, come back down, sweep this low. Obviously, we grab some other liquidity that's down here. This is all this is internal liquidity, right? The actual external liquidity is here and up on these higher time frames. So we're just in this big range grabbing little liquidity for pre-market. Grab this liquidity, shows that we're bullish, but my mindset was bearish at that time. I also noticed that we had a bullish breaker block, right? We had this order block that was built off this huge reaction. This, I marked it. It was, okay, technically it's this whole thing right here, right? But I was like, I'm not going to draw this whole box. I'm just going to draw the line of where it would reverse. And that's actually exactly what happened. I just, this is my first time doing it. I just want to see if this breaker block, bullish breaker block, would react off this line, which it did. But maybe if it went lower, I would have drew the box and see where price would have returned. Yeah, coming down, boom, 6 a.m., comes down, creates more liquidity, gets swept. At 8 a.m., we get a nice little push up into this, again, weekly fair value gap, which we get rejected right away. Come down, and when I saw this, I was like, let me hop down on the 5-minute real quick. So this is the move up, right? We go up at 9:30, and then we get rejected. And then 9:35, boom, we come down, 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 we come down. And this is like when I'm basically about to go to class, I'm off the charts. I see this sell side liquidity. I'm like, this is perfect, because what it's going to do is it's going to sweep this liquidity, which it definitely will, because there's more liquidity down here. So what it wants to do is fill this, return to a fair value gap, which I had marked out here. I believe, yeah, 5-minute fair value gap right here. Could have been a little more precise, but this was the area, this was the zone that I was looking for price to come back. Sweeps back, it kind of comes back at 9:05. I'm in the, this was tutoring, so I was watching this during tutoring, and I was like, okay, well, that's not really the move I want to see. This is not like pre-market move. This isn't what I want to see at all. I wanted to tap into it, but I also don't want to tap into it right now, because this isn't when market opened. So I literally got this whole play right in my head. I was like, it's going to come back down to this level, right? Like order blocks. It's going to hit some order blocks. It's going to come back, market open. When I saw this at 9:25, I got so excited because I know exactly what was going to happen. It's going to pump up, which it did, to where? To the liquidity and to this fair value gap, mostly this liquidity that it had targeted here, right? I can mark it out for y'all. Right here, that it had marked pre-market, opened it, liquidated it, and came back to this other sell side liquidity that we marked also pre-market and target that. Now, why did I not go lower? Why did I not target, this freaking high time frame sell side or whatever, right? Like, why did I not just take this and drag it all the way down here? Like, I have a 15, like, why not? Why did I do that? Because I wasn't sure. This to me did not look like a clear sign of, I don't know. I mean, we were bullish. When I saw this, like, I just want you to realize when I saw this right here on Wednesday, this whole move right here, all the way into Thursday, I was like, we're not really breaking the zone, right? The whole zone is from like this high right here to like this low, if you will, like from these lows. Like that's the zone we're in, right? Like, does that make sense? Like that's the zone we're in right now. This is, to me, this is what's called accumulation. And that's what a lot of other traders use, right? Accumulation. We have a big move, accumulation before another big move. This whole thing, this is choppiness. I was trading choppiness. This was not no big move. And so when you look at this and you target something in a high time frame, you need multiple confluences, you need multiple PD arrays, and you need a strong bias. Obviously, this rejection of this fair value gap means a lot, but there's also liquidity down here. There's liquidity up here. There's liquidity down here that was swept all at the same time. So yeah, it's going to come back down pretty heavy. That doesn't mean it's going to come down and break the zone. What I would have liked to do is maybe potentially, right, if this does break the zone and gets out of the zone to show that it will fill these gaps and even come down to the sell side higher time frame, then I would enter off a breaker structure or a market structure shift or anything like that, right? But I wouldn't just enter and target sell side, even though I know we're in this zone right here that I probably should wait for a breakout, right? Does that make sense? So anyways, that's taken care of. Okay, so that's why I didn't targeted the sell side. That's where price wanted to go. After he took that first sell side, there was nothing else to target, just sell side and order blocks right there. So took that out. We'll just delete this for now. There was also a breaker block that I realized a little bit after where price actually, tuned in perfectly right here. This little doji candle, nice little move down. And the candle before this move down was this doji opening, bullish price, boom, mark that just with the line. It should be like should be the swing high thing to the swing low. That should be like the breaker block. I'm not too sure. I have to take notes on that. But that was that right there. Price then mitigated its way over it, disrespected this order block, and then, didn't come back until now, which I realized, boom, that's, this whole price action here is pretty close to this breaker block. That's a breaker block. And then the next time it came, right, pretty close. And then I knew that this sell side was quite literally on the bullish breaker block. So the price action I wanted to see was exactly this, was, okay, can we make a move higher? Boom. Obviously, this fair value gap is disrespected, right? Because we've already traded through it or into it. Sorry. Fair value gap goes away. We trade into it. Where are we targeting at 10 o'clock? We're targeting fair value gaps that are up here, right? Because we're, yes, in the draw on liquidity at that moment was this liquidity high right here. At that moment, it was right here. And this is where I took my like fake second trade if I was still in the market and looking at the market 24/7. Our draw on liquidity at that time was this, right? That was our draw on liquidity. So that I knew that price would want to come and fill this. When I saw this move up, right, I was like, oh, well, then it didn't get near it. That means what it's gonna do is it's gonna recharge. It's gonna look for another fair value gap to come back to, right? Which we found here. Is it a fair value gap? What is this 3-minute thing? What is that? What the fuck is this? Oh, what the fuck? That's my. Never mind. That's my take profit and sell side. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So we come back. And yeah, because price came back all the way down to here. And I've been doing the analysis on this. Like price comes back to the first fair value gap created, right? Because there's fair value gaps here that are created right here that it can come back to, like right here. But the thing is that price came all the way down to basically where this candle opened, because probably in here there is probably a 3 minute or 2 minute or a 1 minute fair value gap that we're not paying attention to, and that could be very important. So price comes down here. So far I'm not seeing anything. Maybe the 1 minute has something. Let's see. What the fuck? Let's see the 1 minute. Usually the 1 minute works pretty well, right? And then look, there is a fair value gap. So the 1 minute has a fair value gap. So to me, it's valid because this candle right here was the start. So this right here was the order block, the 1 minute order block. This was the order block right here. And this was the order block right here, opening price. Boom, comes down, creates this thing. This would be the fair value gap right here. Again, lots of lines. I'm sorry, guys. You just have to bear with me. Boom, order block or fair value gap. And this is what he wants to target. Not this big fair value gap. This is what it wants to target before coming out all the way up. And if you do OTE, which I do, which is very helpful in this situation, and discounted premium, you would notice when you have OTE out of here, right? This doesn't seem like a good reversal at all. You know, it's a 3 minute fair value gap. Like that's nothing. Price can't reverse on that. Well, when you draw your OTE, it can, because when you're in this current range, you can draw your OTE from the current swing low to the current swing high, which is here. Draw it out, right? Perfectly. Boom. And guess what you get? You get this golden zone that's created. And look how price reacts to it and the action it has. Comes out in this 3-minute fair value gap. What else do we have in this 3-minute fair value gap? We have a 0.79 OTE line right here. Where does the body close of these two candles? Right on the 0.62 OTE body line. Where did I take my entry? On the 0.705 breaker structure line. How did I do that? Copped onto the 3-minute, 1 minute, my bad. Everything's done on the 1 minute for me, to be honest. When I saw this, I drew my discounted premium. Are we in the zone to buy? We are definitely in the zone to buy for the 1 minute. Is there a breaker structure? There's a breaker structure right here. Did I get filled here? No, I probably got filled up here, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Weeble was pretty, slow. Right? And that's where we're taking it. The stop loss, see, this is where I get fucked all the time. Like my stop loss would be here, like super tight. Obviously, if it's a reversal, it wouldn't come back down here. But if it did want to grab more liquidity, which I wasn't sure, I would just put my stop loss on this high right here, right? Nice little five. Actually, no, it's pretty high for a breaker structure. Yeah, just to the bottom of this, right? And then where did we target, right? So let's go down to 5-minute. And our target was this draw on liquidity. Or didn't I have an order block? Oh yeah, it was here. Oh yeah. My bad. Draw on liquidity, and there was an order block up here that was formed. Yeah, right here. Yeah. So that's why I was targeting there. Yeah, we targeted an order block up there, which actually helped out right here, as you can see. Targeting order block here. Draw on liquidity was, my first take profit, and then second runner would have been this order block up here. So that's the number 1 trade that I took, and the number 2 trade that I would have took if I paid more attention and did more analysis and all that. Now, I could go over all this analysis, but this is for me. This is not really for you guys. This is not really a trade recap. QQQ, let's look. What the fuck? Oh. QQQ, I didn't really do any analysis on this today. I didn't really worry about QQQ at all today, but we could probably spot something else. I fucking hate zooming in, dude. Oh my god, this shit kills me. Every single fucking time it kills me. I automatically see right now that this fair value gap is being used as support already. So QQQ has shown us that this fair value gap on the 1 hour is very good. Also on the 1 hour, where I'm seeing this Thursday or today's pre-market lows was used as sell side liquidity, and I could probably notice that this whole area right here, from top to bottom right here, was used as not only a breaker block, but as an order block used for a higher push up. If I was on QQQ today, I probably would have taken both entries, the short and the long. The short was a little scalp, you know, it was literally 30 seconds in the market. Maybe a minute, maybe, you know, whatever. Don't usually trade ES. ES is very laggy for me. I really don't like ES at all. Yeah, not really on ES. I don't want to really go on ES. But that was it for the trade recap. If you guys really want a aftermarket analysis or like a tomorrow analysis or some shit like that, right? You guys can either add my Snapchat, which should be on TikTok, add my Snapchat, and you can see my private story there. I post some stuff here and there. But if you guys want to see a detailed understanding of why this is here, why I'm not targeting this, what are the next draw on liquidity, what I think the fair value gaps you should be targeting, this and that, and all the analysis I do later, the notes that I have, right, that I take every day, right? If you want to see that, then I can make a video. You just have to let me know, because I'm not just going to make these video for absolutely no reason. So please let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one.